Hi guys, Paranormal Video Gamer here. And we need to talk about something that's been on the internet for a couple days now. And I've stayed silent because I didn't want to say anything because I really wanted to think about what I was going to say and what I was going to put online here on my channel. As you guys know, I'm a huge gamer. I've been gaming since I was 6 years old and playing ColecoVision of that particular console. If you guys don't know what ColecoVision is, it's a very old system that came out before Nintendo, of all things. And that's what I started my journey on. I started on that particular system. My dad brought it home, and I loved it. And I thought it was just the most amazing thing to play a video game and sit in front of a TV. But recently, as you guys know, there has been some shootings that have happened here in America. One of them very close to my home, here where I live in Ohio. Dayton, Ohio had a shooting happen where a guy opened fire and killed a bunch of people, including his sister. Of all people, he killed his own family member. And now there's this debate whether or not video games have made people violent and video games cause violence. This, to me, is the most incorrect statement that anybody, including the people of Congress, the people that think that video games cause violence, it doesn't cause violence. That's basically like saying internet lag can cause violence. You know, oh, game's lagging, I'm going to go out and kill somebody. No, it doesn't. That doesn't do that. Video games do not cause violence. What causes violence is people, they don't understand there are consequences to their actions. The other thing that I also think causes violence is there are a lot of people, and you could see it in esports, you know, people that go to these video game tournaments to win and not necessarily to play the game and enjoy the experience and have fun and get to meet new people. They go to these competitions and they do whatever it takes to win. They don't care about friendly competition. They become bitter when they lose. I can give you a perfect example. Just recently, I was playing Mortal Kombat 11, and I was playing against several people online and having a great time, and I met a lot of really good people on that game. I logged out because there was a gentleman that I played a game with, and this guy, first match, I lost to him. I was playing as Scorpion, which a lot of people, they don't particularly like Scorpion. And he was basically making fun of me. He's basically being a bully, calling me names, making fun of my YouTuber name, just a bunch of stuff. And he basically was pretty much being very mean and very disrespectful. I told him to please stop, and he continued, and I won the second match with Collector. He started talking again and starting being very disrespectful to me on the game. So I won the third match, then a fourth match, then a fifth match I won, then a sixth match. And right after I won the seventh match out of the 8 that we played, I won 7 out of 8. He started screaming obscenities at me. And then, the reason I logged off and reported his account is because he made a threat against me. He said he was going to kill me because I was beating him. And I was not playing the game as it was intended. And I immediately tried to understand his point of view. And I said, look, I'm playing the game as it was intended. I'm just doing the moves of the character on you, and you're losing. this is normal. I mean, you lose when you play a game sometimes. And he yelled and screamed and said he doesn't lose to anybody, and I'm hacking the game and I'm cheating and yada yada yada, and he's gonna kill me. He's gonna find out where I live, and he's going to hurt me, and he's gonna hurt my family. I immediately, right after he made another viable threat, I immediately logged off, and I immediately sent a report to Warner Brothers with that particular account information to them. Now, I've gotten no update from them on what's been going on with that. There has been no email or anything like that. But I was thinking about this, and this is why I didn't say anything right away. It's because there's this mentality that a lot of people have, regardless of whatever game it is. It could be Call of Duty 4, it could be Mortal Kombat 11, it could be Fallout 76, it could be No Man's Sky, it could be any game that is a multiple player game. There is this mentality that people have that you have to win regardless. You have to win, and you have to talk a bunch of smack to your opponent to make yourself feel better about yourself. And this is what I think is causing people to go violent, because some of these people that play these games, I really do think have some mental issues. Now, I'm not saying every one of them. Now, I'm not saying every single person has a mental issue, but there are a lot of people that have mental issues that play video games, especially very popular video games. Fortnite, for example, this is one of the reasons why I gave up on Fortnite and why I stopped playing Fortnite, is because I went on there the one day and there was a hacker that was actually shooting from the bus. And, yes, I reported the hacker. I was kind of, I kind of felt like, well, that's kind of stupid. I mean, you're hacking the game and shooting from the bus and no one can shoot back at you. And he was killing us. I mean, he was literally killing us every single time we would respawn somewhere. So, I understand why some people take it to the extreme. Like, when I was growing up, we played video games not for competition. We played video games to have fun. I went to video game tournaments, and yes, there was a competition. But any time that I played somebody in a game like Madden or Tekken Tag, that's one of the games that I used to do tournaments all the time on. This tells you how old I am. But Tekken Tag, I remember playing against probably 150 people in Tekken Tag right there, right next to them. We would stand right next to each other. We'd be less than 3 feet apart. And we'd shake each other's hands and give each other a hug and say, great job, regardless if we won or lost. There were many games that I lost. I mean, I got my butt handed to me, and that made me learn that it's okay to lose, because, okay, I learned not to do that again, especially with, the way that particular character does certain moves and whatnot. But there's this overabundance of people going into esports, and because just recently somebody, I believe it was on Fortnite, won $4 million worth of prize money on one of these esports tournaments. I was told this was probably a couple weeks ago that this particular happened. So the guy won $4 million on this particular game of Fortnite. I believe it was Fortnite. I might be wrong about that, and I apologize if I am. But this guy, he won a lot of money on Fortnite, and people were like, oh my god, I got to get into esports and make all this money and, be a competitive player. The same thing happens with Apex. Anthem is now showing signs of people that are doing it for esports and competition-wise, and not necessarily for the fun or the challenge of the game. This is why there is a lot of violence, because people take win at all costs to the next level. And when they don't win, they go crazy. They literally go crazy online. I can't tell you how many times I've won against somebody and I got death threats from somebody just because they lost against me. Now, I've never done that. I've never gotten to the point where, I got pissed off and, said, I'm going to oh, this game sucks, yada, yada, yada. You can literally hear, and if I can, I will record this one day. I will go online, play Mortal Kombat, and I will record this and share this on my channel. But there have been so many times I'm just, late at night, I just want to play the game and enjoy it and learn from other people that have played the game, you know, learn how to do certain moves and maybe learn, okay, I can't block that, so obviously I've got to find out a way to get around that particular move so I don't lose the match. But there are so many people that take esports mentality to the extreme that they will do whatever it takes to win. That there have been people, like I said, that have made death threats against me, that have made death threats against my family, and there are just so many people that think that they have to win every single match, and if they don't, they literally lose their minds. And it's not video games that are making people violent. It's the mentality of winning at all costs. You could see this when you go to a sporting event. And I've seen this happen at football games with little kids where parents are yelling and screaming at their kids because they want their kids to do this or do that. Or when they're playing basketball, for example, they want their kid to do this and do that. And when they don't, I've seen parents pull the kid up to them and start yelling at them because they're not doing what they want them to do. Because that doesn't allow them to win because they're not doing what they want them to do. And a lot of parents are pushing their kids to do these type of sports and win at all costs and basically state that, losing is this horrible thing, that you lose and you're never going to go to a good college and you're not going to do this and you're going to, you're basically going to be homeless because you lost a football game one time in your life. And that's where that mentality is coming from. It's coming from people nowadays, parents nowadays, teaching their kids, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. And if you don't do it, you're a bad kid. It's not video games that's making people violent. It's not TV that's making people violent. It's not radio that's making people violent. It's not anything that's making people violent other than people having a mental mentality of, I have to win, and if I don't win, the world is over. That's what it boils down to. It boils down, I think, to, if I don't win, then the world needs to end because I didn't win. I don't want to be a loser. I don't want to lose at all. And that's why there's violence. That's why there's people grabbing guns and shooting people, because they're losing their mind and they're going after random everyday people because they think that if they're going to lose, they're going to just kill themselves or get killed. And I think a lot of these people are suicidal, which is a mental issue. These people are schizophrenic. These people have some sort of a mental trigger. And I think what needs to happen is, I think Congress people and people that are blaming video games, they need to look in themselves and say, okay, what is going on? Why are we seeing a rise in violent crime because of what's been going on in the world? But none of the senators, none of the congressmen, they want to look at it that way. They want something to blame. So the first thing that they go after is one of the most popular things, and that is video games. They go after video games because in their heads, well, there's games where you shoot people, so obviously they're learning how to shoot people through video games. So let's outright ban them. And Walmart, as you guys probably have heard, has taken the liberty and essentially removed all types of violent games from their shelves. Now, I was told that it's mostly first-person shooter games that they've removed from every single Walmart. I went to Walmart a couple days ago, and I went there and I looked, and all the Call of Duty games, like Black Ops 4, has been removed from that particular shelf. Now, it still has the label listed on the shelf, but there's no copies actually on the shelf. Now, I don't know if that's just my particular Walmart that decided to do that, or if that's everywhere, but from what I understood, it's everywhere. Every Walmart is now taking violent video games out of the stores and refusing to sell them to customers. Just because there's this fear that video games cause violence. Even though there's been countless studies that have been proved that video games do not cause violence, that there is no evidence to even link video games to violence. And I've been playing, like I said, since I was 6 years old. And I've never thought, regardless of how badly I lost in a game, I've never thought, well, I lose, I don't want to be a loser, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go shoot somebody. I've never had that mentality. And I've been playing games for 30 years. Probably more than 30 years. I've never had that mentality. Because I don't think a loss is a bad thing, as I said. I know this is a longer video than normal, but I really wanted to talk about this because I felt that it was absolutely necessary for me to say something, because there are so many people that are on this bandwagon that video games are violent, and they cause violence and they cause people to kill each other, and it's just not the truth. And the thing that I love the most is getting the most backlash, because people just don't understand that there are other pressing issues that is causing the violence. It's a mentality. It's not the actual item that's causing the violence. That's like, best way I could describe it. That's like a person going into the store, buying a gun, and shooting someone, and then blaming the gun for it. Well, I didn't shoot the person. The gun shot the person. I was just standing and I pulled the trigger. But I didn't shoot him. The gun went off and shot him. That's what the mentality is with a lot of people. They blame things because it's more convenient to blame something than take responsibility for it. That's my thoughts and opinions. I hope you appreciate this video. If you do have a comment, please feel free to leave a comment below. And if you liked this particular video and what I've said, do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. So, I'm Paranormal Video Gamer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.